Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2024 Tantive 4 Starship Collection Set, or MIDI scale, depending on which term you prefer. It is set number 75376, comes with 654 pieces, and retails at $80. This is video number 3 of my week leading up to May 4th, 2025, covering some sets that I won't be too surprised end up being hot sellers for 2025 May the 4th for one reason or another. This one being that this is not only this set one of not only is this set based off the very first ship ever seen in a Star Wars movie, but this set is getting ready to retire this year. So anyone who wants to make sure they get a complete Starship collection is going to need to pick this guy up before 2026. Taking a look at the box art, we do have the full ship in its full glory with that black background with a nice hint of blue back there in the back, along with the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars logo on the bottom, with that bluish silver coloring leading down to the bottom. Taking a look at the back, we get another view of the set, along with the very first time we ever see the Tantive 4 in a Star Wars movie above Tatooine. Along with seeing the dimensions of the set being 32 centimeters or 15.5 inches long, or 15 centimeters or 6 inches high, counting the included stand. This does have the push tabs on the side, so you do have to open. So you do have to damage the box to get it open. Taking a look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bags of parts. We got 4 large plates all by themselves. Strange. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, strange enough, I don't see any stickers. But yes, we do. We do have some stickers, a total of 10 to be exact, and 1 instruction manual showing off the ship front and center, heading straight for us. Which is an interesting shot of the ship for the instruction manual. Opening it up, we once again have an ad for paper bags. It's set without paper bags, and once again we have a nice little UCS introduction of the ship, showing off the full-scale model of the Tantive 4 they made for the original movie, along with a little message from the creative director of LEGO Star Wars. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I'm going to butcher it to no end. Then we get another shot of the ship flying over Tatooine, this time being chased by the Star Destroyer, along with an image of the full model. And once again, we have a page celebrating the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars. Taking a look at the back, no other sets advertised from the looks of things. Nope, but we do get 3 full pages of parts for what's in the set. So I think this one's gonna be a fun build. We're going to jump into the time lapse of this set, starting right now. Alright, the build is done. I'd say that took a solid hour putting together. Quite a fun build, some interesting build techniques going on here, I will admit. Of course, since this is technically part of the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars, it does have the printed brick, so nice touch there. And it does have the printed LEGO Star Wars Tantive 4 plaque on the stand. I gotta admit, this thing, it's bigger than it's actually bigger than what I thought it would be. I thought it would be, I don't know, something like this length. So it's actually a good deal bigger. We'll go ahead and take a look at this ship from stem to from about the stern. The shaping of the hammerhead shape is pretty accurate. You do have a couple of stickers with details on the side, which look really good. You got your two main turbos, dual tuber guns on the front as well as on top. But you've got your smaller smaller laser turrets, and underneath those you have your 8 escape pods. Oh wait, there's actually only 7 of them. This is actually one of the 2 Easter eggs in this set. The fact that they show that R2 and 3PO's escape pod has already launched. Fortunately, that one is very easy to access. The other one, not so much. There's only two ways to access view of that, and neither of them are all that easy. But I will do the easier one, as it does let me show off one of those interesting build techniques with the laser turret. The turret is made of 3 of these magnifying glass shaped pieces is attached to each other. One of them sticking in here, but you notice, hey, both of these show anti-studs, and they did an interesting way of doing that. Let me take this apart real quick. The first one attached attaches to ship is your regular circular 2x2 tile, and then this one's an interesting one. So what they did is on top of the regular one, or the regular 2x2 circular plate, they take the tile one with the hole in the middle, and then the top one is the tile with the stud in the middle. So that one just slaps on top of the hole, and then you can put the cannon on. As for the rest of this, in order to access that other Easter egg, you kind of have to take some of this apart. So first you take off 2 of these, the 2 smaller panels. Then you actually have to take off the entire radar dish assembly, which is pretty simple. It's on one of these Technic pins, one with the rounded part. One of it is the rounded part. The other is the almost like the screwdriver shape. And on top of that, you got a 2x2 circular plate in gray, and then you got the actual radar dish, which is just 2 pieces. So after you take that off, you take off these 2 L-shaped tiles, and then you can take off the larger wedge plates, and then you pull up the entire section here. That just comes off. There's your second Easter egg. Inside, you got Leia giving the message and plans to R2 with 3PO just standing there watching. So yeah, it's very similar to the Starship scale invisible hand. One Easter egg is very easy to access. The other, not so much. But yeah, it is a fun little detail that they threw in. The only other way is to take off the panels with the laser cannons and escape pods in order to access. But honestly, I think I might have picked the easier one to take off, because honestly, I found that putting those side panels on in the first place to be a bit difficult, because they go in there rather tight. So yeah, I thought doing it this way would be a bit easier. So yeah, funny. So yeah, almost a little funny, with the interior Easter egg. Until you actually put the panels with the cannons and escape pods on, you're basically able to see that Easter egg the whole time in various states of viewing. But I do like all the extra greebling going on here. You got some ingot pieces going on. You got some grills. You got more of these magnifying glass pieces. Got some minifigure roller skates in metallic gray. And just the shaping of the ship looks good, as does the coloring, with mostly white with some red and gray accents. And I will say it does get a bit repetitive once you get to the engine block. I mean, you're basically building 3 sections basically the same, just a little bit of variation with the 3 engines. And so while the top section, the top and bottom sections with the 4 engine blocks, those are just straight up copy pastes. Basically, and they're connected to the main build by a couple of Technic rods in the middle. Also, there was one bit of whoops. Actually, yeah, I was going to show that off, because I actually found that a little interesting, because I almost felt like Lego did almost what we would call almost illegal building techniques. Because basic. So yeah. So this bomb section here, this is in the Clone Wars, we were actually shown that this is the boarding section. And I found this to be a little interesting, because until you get these red Technic pins in there, that block that the circular piece is attached to is basically just sitting there. It's basically just sitting there a little loose. So yeah, a little interesting. Yeah. Also, you got some more sticker details here on the engine block. So yeah, this was quite a fun, quite an interesting build. Of course, you have the usual display stand, which, much like all the other Starship scale sets, it's basically the same throughout with all these Starship scale sets, with just some slight variations to accommodate the various builds. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and do some comparisons, starting off with the other really big Starship scale set, the Super Star Destroyer, the one that kind of got the ball rolling again, with the exception of that Comic-Con Nebulon B frigate. There's some interesting stuff going on here. The Tantive 4 is the only one that has more pieces in it than the Super Star Destroyer. The Super Star Destroyer has 630 pieces, while Tantive 4 has 654. So it's a 24-piece difference. But for some reason, the Tantive 4 is $10 more expensive. I'm not. I gotta admit, I got some questions going on here. Not to mention, this thing, the Tantive 4 has stickers, while the Super Star Destroyer does not. So yeah, I got some interesting questions going on with that. And then, of course, we've got the other Rebel ship that Lego has made, other than that Nebulon B frigate, the Home 1. But that's $70. With over 500 pieces. So that I can kind of understand the price range, but strangely enough, taking a look at these, they're basically the same length, which is kind of weird considering in Star Wars lore, the Home 1 basically dwarfs the CR90. I think it would even, if they were doing it to scale with this thing, it'd be even smaller than the micro scale Nebulon B frigate over here. It was like what? You could basically represent it with what, a 1x2 plate, and that's it. So yeah, interesting stuff going on here. And then of course we got the two $50 sets for the Starship Collection, the Invisible Hand and the Acclamator. So once again, and the Invisible Hand is basically the same length as the Tantive 4, while the Acclamator is about half that size. So it's some interesting comparisons going on here with the rest of the Starship fleet. So for the Tantive 4, I gotta say they did a really good job with this set, And considering, again, this was the very first ship we ever saw in a Star Wars movie, I would certainly say it was certainly deserving of being part of the Starship Collection, and a good choice for a set celebrating 25 years of LEGO Star Wars. It is a solid build, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed this one, and it looks good. I'm just it's just that comparing this thing to the Super Star Destroyer, I'm not really sure that $10 price bump is really justified. I'd say closer to 75, and it would be worth it. But 80 feels a bit more expensive. But don't forget that this set is scheduled to be retiring this year. That is one of the things that makes me think this might be a bit of a hot buy for May 4th, at least for sets that are currently out, not counting the sets that are going to be released for May 4th. But yeah, this is a solid ship. If you're a fan of the Tantive 4 or the original trilogy in general, or you're just trying to collect the Starship Collection sets, much like I am, I see no reason why not to pick this up. This is great. So that'll be the end of this review. Thanks for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. Ring the bell to be notified of all videos as soon as they become available. Check out my channel and some more of my content, including my brand new LEGO Star Wars Starship Collection playlist on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.